Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, boys and girls. How are we today? Looks like it's not going to be a super great day today. It's pretty likely to rain. So it's kind of a bummer. I hope you guys are going to have some fun, do something interesting inside, or maybe even go play in the rain and go splash in the puddles. If my boys get their work done, we might be able to go do that today.
I don't think so.
So remember this week we were reading the Berenstain Bear books. Wyatt has picked out a new one for us, and it's the Berenstain Bears Don't Pollute Anymore book, which is kind of an interesting thing. Wyatt said he picked this because we've been going out on adventures and going to see outside, and he sees a lot of trash out in the roads and in the fields and wherever we're adventuring to. So he wanted to read this book so that people remember, don't pollute, don't litter. Okay? All right, boys and girls, let's get to it. So the Berenstain Bears don't pollute anymore. To save the earth. All right. Well, looky here, said Papa Bear as he opened the evening news. Your friend, Professor Actual Factual's got his picture on the paper. Oh, said Brother and Sister Bear, coming to see. There's a big story too, said Papa, and a headline. Well, my goodness, said Mama Bear. What's it about? Leading scientist claims Bear Country is in serious trouble, he said, reading the headline. What sort of trouble? Asked Sister. Papa, who was reading the story to himself, didn't answer. What sort of trouble? Said Mama, repeating Sister's question. Oh, you know how professors are, he said. Actual Factual's making a big fuss about pollution. Well, I know how Professor Actual Factual is, said Mama, and I think he's quite sensible. So do I, said Sister. Me too, said Brother. Oh, he's a great guy and all, said Papa. He dug up some terrific dinosaur bones, and he runs a great museum. But I happen to think he's gone a little overboard on this pollution thing. I'm as much against pollution as the next fellow, he continued. I just don't think a couple of candy wrappers or drinking cups along the side of the road is the end of the world. Besides, Bear Country is in great shape. Come on, I'll show you. He opened the door and led the family out into the front stoop. You see, Bear Country is not only in good shape, it's downright beautiful. The rolling hills, the forests, the lakes and streams. Just look at that sunset. It's beautiful, all right, agreed Brother. But our science books say that some of those colors are caused by chemicals in the air that shouldn't be there. Piffle, said Papa. Say, are you two supposed to be doing homework? Sister, who had just about completed her homework, finished quickly, but Brother Bear was stuck. Teacher Bob had asked him to do a report on endangered species. The books he had taken out of the school library weren't very helpful. Of course, the kind of shape Bear Country was in wasn't as simple as Papa made it seem. How Bear Country looked depended on the point of view. It looked fine from the Bear family's front stoop. It looked even better if you had a bird's eye view while flying high above. But if you had a squirrel's eye view and were finding fewer and fewer acorns because too many trees were being cut down, Bear Country didn't look so fine. If you had a duck's eye view, you might think the professor was right about pollution. And if you had a fish eye's view, you might think things were downright awful. You see the fish and all the trash in the pond and the lake, and the duck who sees this yucky stuff over here. And look, this poor squirrel doesn't have a lot of places to go anymore, which means less and less food, right? The next day, Brother decided to visit the museum to ask Professor Actual Factual for help with his endangered species report. Sister Bear went with him. Professor Actual Factual was usually cheerful and friendly and bubbling over with ideas and projects when the Cubs visited, but this time he looked worried and glum. He cheered up a bit when he saw them, but when Brother told him his purpose of the visit to get help on a report about endangered species. He said something very surprising. I'll tell you the endangered species to do your report on. Us. We don't understand, they said. It's very simple, explained the professor. We bears and all other creatures need certain things to survive. Clean air to breathe, pure water to drink, and good soil to grow food in. If we don't do something about pollution, we're going to become endangered species. Come on, he said. You'll understand soon enough. He led them out to where the actual factual mobile was parked. It was a special kind of van with all kinds of scientific gear in it. Then the professor took brother and sister on a bear country tour they wouldn't soon forget. They went past Grizzly Gus's garage where they saw the oil leaking into the stream, getting on a duck and killing some fish. They went past the old box factory where they saw ugly black smoke pouring into the air. They scuba dived into Great Bear Lake where they saw everything from soda cans and rusty old bed springs and worse. They saw a fish tangled in a plastic soda can holder. They cut it loose, but they couldn't rescue all the fish from all the plastic holders carelessly thrown away. They drove through the forest and saw that a great many trees had been cut down and that not many new trees had been planted to replace them. You might think that you might speak to your dad about that, said the professor. He and his fellow woods bears could help with that problem. I think I could see what you mean about becoming an endangered species, said brother when they got back to the museum. Yes, agreed sister. But what are we going to do about it? Did that evening news story do much good? Asked brother. Not much, said the professor. The idea that bear country is in serious trouble because of pollution seems to be hard to get across. To grown-ups maybe, said sister, but we understand it. All our cub friends will too, because we're the ones who'll have to live in the messed up, polluted earth when we grow up. Professor, said brother, how does this sound? You come to our school and explain all about pollution to our cubs of bear country. Maybe we can do something about it. Factual was impressed. I'll give Teacher Bob a call right now and arrange it, he said. And that's what happened. The cubs were all eyes and ears as Factual told them about the trouble bear country was getting into. First, he taught them three important new words: ecology, conservation, and recycle. The way the professor explained it is ecology means how all the creatures and plants and the earth itself work together. Conservation means not wasting the valuable things of the earth, like water, oil, wood, and metal. And recycling means finding ways to use some of those valuable things over and over. Come on. The cubs learned quite a lot from Factual, and they had some ideas of their own too. How about a recycling program, suggested one cub. Maybe for newspapers to start, added another. Then if it works for cans and bottles too. Tim Honeypot said he'd talk to his dad, Mayor Honeypot, about it. Brother Bear remembered Grizzly Gus's garage. You shouldn't be allowed to spill oil into streams and kill fish, he said. Babs Bruno, whose dad was the chief of police, said, I'll talk to my dad. If there isn't a law against it, there ought to be. Even Too Tall helped with an idea. My uncle owns a super duper market. He could put in a bag return plan for reusing bags. Excellent suggestion, said the professor. And if some folks don't want to cooperate at a Too Tall, me and my gang can lean on them a little bit. The bag return is fine, Too Tall, said Teacher Bob, but no leaning. Cousin Freddie had the best idea of all. Let's start a cub a club to stop pollution and called Earth Savers Club. We'll make posters and bumper stickers and have cleanups and marches and parades. But there was still a problem of Papa and his fellow wood bears. That evening, brother and sister told Mama about the Earth Savers Club and all the plans for stopping pollution. Mama was very impressed. Papa was too. As I said before, I'm just as much against pollution as the next fellow. But when the cubs asked him to be sure that he and his fellow woodsmen plant a new tree for everyone to cut down, he got a little grumpy. Humph, he grumbled. It's hard enough to cut down trees without having to plant them as well. Besides, what's all the fuss about? They're just trees. My dear, said Mama, the cubs are right. The forest is a living thing and deserves respect. Papa was about to say piffle, but thought better of it. The problem of The problem of conserving the forest must have been on his mind because that night he had a dream. In the dream, he was walking toward the forest to cut wood when the trees began to sway and wave their branches. Then the branches turned into reaching, grasping arms. Then the tree climbed out of the earth onto the roots and chased him. Help! Cried Papa in his sleep. The trees, they're after me. He woke up in a cold sweat. Having a nightmare? Asked Mama. It must have been something I ate, he said. Or something you heard, perhaps? She said, about trees? Piffle, he said, and turned over and tried to go back to sleep. But it wasn't going to be easy. The Cubs didn't expect to solve all Bear Country's pollution problems, but the Earth Saver Club made a very good start. The mayor declared a special holiday called Earth Savers Day, and the Cubs had a big parade. Brother and Sister Bear marched at the head with Professor Actual Factual. There were many grown-ups in the parade, too, including Papa Bear, who carried a sign that did not say piffle. A good woods bear plants a tree for every single one he cuts. No ifs, no ands, no maybes, nor buts.
And no piffles.
And no piffles. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this book. It's important that we do our part, and if you're able to recycle, you could do that. That's a good way to do that. Remember when we were collecting stuff for Next Treks? That's a great way to recycle things, right? So I know that we do our best. At school, we have our recycle center or cans that we do. The Next Trek thing was a great thing that we did. We don't just throw things away casually. We really try in our own little ways. I know that we will take one of our trash bags and we'll go for a walk and we'll pick up our trash all around that we see, you know what I mean, to try to help out. I don't know if you guys have ever done any of the things like these, or if you've ever just driven down the road and seen trash and we're like, oh, that's gross, right? So just try your best to not be part of the problem, be part of the solution, right? All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you later today during our class meeting. Bye!